fine.
Okay, I pushed record on this thing.
Okay.
So we should be good.
Wow. It's happening.
I'm leaving.
I forgot the name of our podcast, so I have to
I
look.
think it's the Naked Peach podcast because everything else
hold
was
on.
taken.
Let me just make sure, because we had a couple.
I had one I really liked.
The Naked Peaches. That was our favorite.
You know, so I was thinking the first thing we have on here is intros, but I'm like, the only people that are going to be listening to this podcast in the beginning are
People who know
only
us.
people who know us
But
and know what we do.
You know how sometimes you find a podcast and you go back to the beginning and you start?
Yeah.
So, like, we have to have an intro for, like, anyone who discovers us, you
Okay.
know?
Okay.
Just,
You're
like,
right.
even though we know most people listening to this at first are going to be like, yeah, guys, we know.
Yeah.
But, like
hi, Mom.
and,
Like,
like,
is that the only person?
in 6 months, when we have, like, 20 episodes and someone's like, oh, I'm going to start with the beginning.
Hello,
You have
God. It's
something.
me, Sierra.
Yeah. It's like we have our 3 listeners and they're all our husbands. And
Our husbands and our parents.
And our
Hello,
best
Oscar,
friends,
our
Colin, and
parents.
Gavin.
Find it.
okay. Well, why don't you just give our intro? Do you want to start, Sierra?
I didn't read any of this, so.
No, we were supposed to, like, intro who we are, remember? Because I was like, we don't need to intro. People know us. And then Taylor's like, no, but they're going to go back and
Yeah,
listen
so,
to the
like,
first
it's, like,
one.
fine if it's, like,
Naked
there's no
Peach.
rehearsals here.
Well,
Yeah,
first
just-
say, hey, this is the Naked Peaches, and then say your intro.
Okay. Hey, we are the Naked Peaches. My name is Sierra. I hate it here! Okay. Hello to the 3 people out there. We are the Naked Peaches. My name is Sierra. I am the co-owner of Naked Peach Boudoir. And I don't know anything about me.
Hi, everyone. I'm Taylor. I'm also the co-owner of Naked Peach Boudoir, and I do a bunch of different things, like making lots of TikToks and sending lots of emails, and I also take photos, and sometimes I do makeup when I just feel crazy, and I don't know.
Okay, I'm Anna. I'm a photographer at Naked Peach, and I also, like, do a bunch of our content videos and consult calls, and I feel like all of us do a little bit of everything at work every day, so
Yeah.
we're just doing everything.
Yeah.
It's a startup.
We're a small women-owned business, and we all do a little bit of everything because we're all just, like, busting our asses every day to keep this fucking show running.
Popping these pussies all over the place.
Popping our pussies everywhere, nonstop.
We want to do this podcast because we love all of our clients. We connect with everyone in the studio all the time. We connect with people, like, in our Facebook group and Instagram and whatever, but, like, we wanted, like, another place to be able to do that, basically, and, like, have all these combos that we have, like, miniature versions of over social media.
Yeah,
but,
and also the
like,
conversations we have with ourselves.
Yeah.
It's like we kind of want to create a space where we get to hang out with everybody. And they get to connect with us too, because it's kind of really scary when you think about even, oh, a boudoir session is something I might want to do. But it's also, like, terrifying to be vulnerable and get naked in front of someone you don't fucking know. So it's like we want people to listen to us and be like, yeah, I want to pop my pussy in front of that bitch. That's the one. Yeah. That's the studio I want to go to.
I mean, I still get nervous when I have my boudoir shoots in front of you two, and I see you two every single day, but I'm just like, oh, are you sure?
Are
you see my butthole?
Yeah.
I feel like also, like, we have this Facebook group, and we have our TikTok, and we have multiple different communities where I feel like we hear people say things like, this is such a safe space, like, I'm so glad I have this place to talk about these things or, like, get these questions answered, and a podcast is, like, a place for us to kind of, like, delve even deeper into the things that, like, people don't get to talk about anywhere else, and, like, be a safe space.
And it's fun too because like people can submit questions and we can kind of spend a little bit more time talking about it and talking about it amongst each other. It's kind of like, it's collaborative.
We love to talk.
We do.
Yeah.
I don't shut the fuck up. Ask Anna.
Well, and
Ask her
like,
how she knows.
but we have these combos too, like, all the time in the studio. Like, when clients are doing glam and, like, even during the shoot, it's like we like form these, like, best friendships in, like, the few hours that we're together, and then it's like, oh, let's just expand the combos.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's what we're here to do, okay?
We're here to expand conversations
Yeah.
and break glass
Break glass and pop pussies.
and maybe have diarrhea in the process.
Okay, so with that, our first episode is the vagina episode.
Yay!
Yay, vaginas!
My vagina's terrifying.
It's a scary place.
It's spooky.
Well, it's spooky season now, so perfect timing.
She's like here to shine. She's a spooky bitch. She's been through it.
I feel like you should start with yours and this weekend and
with my
Well, I
fucking
guess it's not your vagina area, but
I guess it wasn't my vagina, but it's all in the
near
same
there.
area.
Talk about your hemorrhoids. Tell us.
So we were just at the Portrait Masters conference, and this was like,
it's a photography conference.
yeah, it's a
It changed their lives. They
No,
had the
you
time
said
of their
Portrait
life.
Masters, but I'm just telling people, like, just in case,
Okay.
I don't know.
I was like, did I say it wrong? Am I
No,
fucking
no, you
idiot?
said it great. It's just like,
But we were at the Portrait Masters conference for the first time with all these like really badass photographers. But I was unwell. I pooped so much, and then I got a fucking hemorrhoid, like a fucking big one, like. When you fart, it, like, flaps in the wind. Like, a hemorrhoid. I've not had a hemorrhoid of, like, this grandeur. Is that the word, if you will?
Magnitude.
This magnitude. Since I fucking had a baby. So, like...
Show us, like, with your hand what size you think it is.
It's, like, this... It has to be, like...
Okay, she's showing us a dime size right now.
yeah,
About.
it's like a
potentially.
jelly bean.
It's, like, a little bit smaller than a marble. But it's, like, uncomfortable. And I, like, brought all these,
Do you
like...
feel it right now as you're sitting here?
It's a better today.
Yeah.
Like,
Wait,
before...
what makes them go away?
I don't know, like not straining and just like not wiping it aggressively.
You need a bidet.
Something. I need to, a Perry bottle. I don't know. Squirt some water in there. Like there was a few times I just got in the shower and just spread my ass cheeks super wide and be like, hopefully it's getting clean. Like, but on top of this and my vagina, I was on my period.
Oh no, it's just a mess.
Just a mess. So I'm like wondering, like, did I get this hemorrhoid and get backed up because my uterus is taking up all this fucking space and I'm on this piece of shit period.
And you're wearing the tight jeans.
And I was wearing tight ass jeans. Like, dude, my fucking, like, the seam of my jeans and my butt crack was like rubbing on my hemorrhoid.
Oh no.
And I'm also like wearing a pad because like I don't wear tampons because they also disturb the peace for me. Like I'm not a girly who can wear like a tampon or a cup or anything like that.
So the lesson is next time at Portrait Masters, bring a skirt
Yeah.
in case you get a hemorrhoid.
Oh my
Linen
god.
pants. That's what
Linen
she's buying next
fucking
year.
pants. There was like no breathability there. The amount of sweat, I've never sweated so hard in my life. And I like have done hot yoga. Like it was worse than that. And there was no escaping it.
And I was like,
been
should we
so
sit outside
stinky.
for a meal? And Sierra's like,
I was like, perhaps not. Perhaps the fuck not, Anna. You
Okay,
can
so everyone who's listening knows Anna will like I'll come into the studio after Anna's done a shoot and the heat will be up to like 80 degrees in there and I'll be like it'll be also 80 degrees outside.
it's sickening.
It's really scary. There's something wrong with her.
to be fair though, I always turn it down for the client and then they leave and then I turn it back up for myself.
Well, it's like so crazy too because like obviously like it's really air conditioning there, but when I got into the room, it's like you be hit with this air conditioning and then like after it settled, I'm fucking hot. And then there's like Anna like, oh my god, it's at 65. I'm gonna turn it up, and I'm like, no, I don't. I'm actually gonna pass away. I had to like sleep in my underwear every night.
Oh my god.
It was terrible. I guess. What else are we talking about with our vaginas? I guess that's a current state of my vagina.
Yeah,
right
the
now.
current state of your vagina.
Yeah.
But are there any like past vagina stories that you feel like need to be
Yes.
Do we need to clear the air about anything else?
Clear the air, yes. I think I've told you guys this story before. So come along this journey. You're looking at me like you don't remember. So this is going to be a fun time. But as soon as I say it, you're going to be like, oh my God, yeah. So there was a time in high school when I got a yeast infection. And did I tell you the story?
No, I'm excited to hear
I've
it,
never
though.
heard this.
You guys. I get this yeast infection. It's like no big deal. I've had like one before this. And so I go downstairs because my mom always had like Monistat, and she had like the Monistat like 1-day treatment. And so I get in the bathroom, like I put it in, and I run up the fucking stairs because like, you know, you have to like lay down. Like
Yeah.
you have to go to bed. You can't get up or else
Yeah.
it comes out. But then as it's coming out, it is itching so fucking bad. The worst fucking itch. I'm like, I want to take a fucking like what you clean your grill with to my
Pipe
vagina.
cleaner. Yeah, I know this feeling. I have this reaction to Monistat too. It
Okay.
literally feels
Wait, the
like
Monistat made it worse?
It's
Yes,
an allergic
dude,
reaction.
it's like-
We're gonna dive into this. So I'm like in bed. The itching wears off. I'm like, I am literally like in a sane asylum, just like gyrating in my bed, just trying not to fucking touch my vagina.
I had to take a sleeping pill the last time I did it because it was like, there's no other way I'm going to fall asleep.
There are other options out there, and I'll tell you how I found out.
Yeah, I need to know.
So it's like around 3 a.m. I never wake up. Like, I'm a teenager. I sleep blissfully through the night as soon as I fall asleep. I wake up at 3 a.m. and I'm like, oh, fuck, I have to go pee. I'm like, that's weird, but like, I'll do it. But I'm like, fuck, my pussy's gonna like super itch, like if I run downstairs. So like, but I just run downstairs. I pull down my pants, and what I see is what nightmares are fucking made of. My vagina is turned into a ball sack, and I have a flappy vagina already. Like, she's ham sandwiched down there. So all of my flaps and everything swollen to high heavens. Like,
Is it a different color?
Like, if I think it was like a dark purple. Like, she was pissed and angry. My clitoris, I was like, she's gonna tear and she's never gonna work again. And I couldn't stand properly because my vagina was so swollen it was touching the sides of my legs like a ball sack.
No.
So
Oh my God.
I'm in the bathroom like thinking, what the fuck? Do I call 911? Like, what do I do? I'm 16. I think 15 or 16. And of course, I wrap a towel around me, and what's the first thing you do? Barge in your mom's room.
Yeah, of course.
And I turn on the light, and she's like, it's 3 a.m. It's 3 a.m. I'm like, it's an emergency. And my mom goes, this better be fucking good. Like, she was like, you better be dying. Like, like, my mom is someone you don't wake up. And if I went barging in there, turning on the light at like 4 a.m. or 3 a.m., whatever time it was, that I was scared.
You had no other option.
I was more scared of my vagina than I was of my mom.
Okay.
And then I was like, Mom, I don't know what's happening. My vagina's swollen. She's like, Sierra, quit overreacting. And I just fucking unveil my fucking, I drop the towel, and my mom goes, what the fuck? And she literally, like, it's right on the phone. She's fucking calling, like, the urgent care line to see if, like, I need to be seen immediately.
Right now.
I'm literally crying.
And we're both just, like, looking at it and looking at each other and, like, looking at it. And we're just like, how is it that fucking big?
Oh, my God.
So I'm, like, screaming. I'm like, my mom's like, I can't go to work tomorrow. You can't go to school. Like, we need to go to the doctor.
Oh, my God.
So we go to the doctor that morning, and I'm wearing sweatpants. I'm walking around, like
there's a dick between your legs.
yes, that is exactly what it was like. I'm like, I don't know how to do this. It hurt so bad. And I was like, when is it going to stop? And because it got worse. But I go to the doctor, and I get there, and she goes, this is the worst swelling I've ever seen. Like, and this bitch births babies.
Oh, my God.
Like, it's a gynecologist.
It's a gynecologist.
She's seen everything. She's seen it all.
She's seen it.
And she's like, this is the worst I've ever
That's
seen.
my worst nightmare, is a gynecologist telling me that. Like, just going in for a pap smear and there being like, this is the ugliest vagina I've
Yeah,
ever
you never
seen.
want to be like an extreme example at
I
the
was actually just like,
gynecologist.
I've never seen swelling to this degree. And she was like, you are very allergic to Monistat.
Wow.
So then we
my
just had to
God.
like go get another medication. I have no idea what it was called because obviously like my mommy went and got it for me.
Yeah.
But like we had to go get it. And it was like another 7-day treatment, but it did go away. But yeah, I'm forever.
Wait, it took 7 days to go away.
Well, like not the swelling. The swelling
Okay.
gradually went down. I actually really don't like recall like that. All I remember is just having this big vagina, going to the doctor,
Oh
being
my
scared
God.
shitless. But like all the details, like after I started the new medication, I went back to real life. But yeah.
Were you ever
Wow.
scared during that time that it would never go back? Like,
I was scared that my clit was gonna rip. That was what I was most
Did
terrified.
it feel like tension? Like, did it
Yes.
feel like the skin was like being pulled?
It was tight.
How big was your clit? Like,
Dude,
visibly
like
to you?
fucking like massive,
It's
dude.
like a micro penis.
It was like someone took like a dick pump to my fucking vagina.
Oh my
Like,
God.
It was sick. Like, I can't believe that happened to
Wow.
me. But luckily, I've literally never had a yeast infection since then.
oh my God.
God.
Your body's probably traumatized.
Oh, yeah, like,
it
your
refuses
body's
to
like, we're
have
not
one.
doing this
My
again.
vagina's like, bitch, we are never doing that again. Absolutely. The
This is
fuck
so
not.
crazy.
And like, my vagina's been swollen after giving birth, you
Yeah,
know?
but not like that.
Nothing
Not
like
like
that.
that.
Like, the fact when I looked down and like, it like took up all this space.
That's so terrifying. Like,
It's
what a
immediate now.
traumatizing image to have as a teenage girl.
I was like, will I ever fuck again?
Oh my God.
Will I ever be able to flick this bean again?
You know how having like a fat pussy is like a thing. Like
Yes.
that's like a good thing.
Yeah.
You had the fattest pussy of all time.
I
for a
did.
brief moment.
I did. I had like an anime pussy.
There's like
you know
for
what I'm
sure
talking
people that
about?
would have been like really into that.
Oh,
For
yeah.
sure. It was the
Sickos
fattest.
would have
Well, some
loved
people,
it.
I think there's vagina pumps too.
Really?
That people do to like make their vaginas and clits like enlarged.
Like to enlarge your like labia?
Yeah.
I bet it's a porn thing. It has to be a porn thing, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I don't know if you guys have like seen anime. Some of their porn, their like vaginas are like so squishy and like big
just
and fat.
Anime
Puffy.
porn?
Huh?
Anime porn?
Yeah, a lot of them are. Like, not all of them. Like, obviously, like...
Do you watch anime porn?
No, I actually don't. Just from, like, random pop-ups in high school.
Yeah.
And it's like, what the fuck is this? I've always, like, seen the, like, I'm like, puffy pussies. And
Yeah.
it's, like,
Interesting.
it's uncomfortable.
Okay, I've had that reaction before to Monistat where like
The itching,
I've
right?
only taken it once or twice, but the last time I took it, I was like, this is the most unbearable itch of my life. I took a sleeping pill.
It's worse than the yeast infection itch.
yeah, it's, like,
It's
not
I'd rather
even
just
worth
have
it.
a yeast infection.
Yeah.
And my mom was like, no, you're fucking crazy.
But I didn't have the swelling. I just had the really bad itching.
Well, if you probably do it again, you probably will. Because, like,
Yeah.
I had a yeast infection before and used it, and I did have that itching. So the second time I did it, I was just like, whatever. I just need to, like, put it in. Actually, I think I put it in my bed, actually, the second time. Because I was like, because the first
You knew
time
better.
when I had fucking put it in and then ran upstairs, it was too late. That shit came out and was
Yeah.
itching me to, like, hell. But, like, it still, like, oozes out.
Yeah.
Like, I was like, I need to sew this shit shut.
my
and you put a cork in there.
Well, it's like a whole ass egg that you put inside you.
And then it melts and, like, comes
Yeah.
out. So, like, yeah, won't be doing that again.
Wow. Okay, I've never taken Monistat again.
Yeah.
You
Don't.
just saved me from having a swollen pussy.
Yeah.
I would just, like, call your gynecologist and be like, hey, like, it makes me itch so bad. I'm having a little bit of swelling. Like, can you give me something else? And
Yeah.
I will.
It was
Wow.
terrifying.
Wow.
So-
Have you not had this reaction to Monistat?
I've never had a yeast infection. Yeah.
What?
I know.
I've
I
only
feel like
had
that's...
two.
Wow.
Yeah.
I've had quite a few.
I've
I've
had-
also had a lot of bacterial vaginosis.
I've never had that.
Is that like...
And it's
God, why
terrifying.
can't I think of the name right
Because I feel
now?
like when people have it,
Oh,
it's, like,
UTIs.
chronic.
Is that like a UTI?
No, it's different from
Okay.
UTI.
I've had UTIs.
Yeah.
But I've never
I
had
feel
a
like
yeast infection.
BV is a little bit like a yeast infection, right?
It
What
is.
is
So
it?
it's like, okay, so your vagina has like a chemical or bacteria in it, not chemicals. And like the yeast infection is when like too much of like a certain type of bacteria
It's
takes
too much
over.
yeast.
Too much yeast, yeah. And then bacterial vaginosis, BV, is when the other type of bacteria takes over. And
Got
what
it.
happens when you have BV is that it fucking stinks. It smells like fish.
Oh.
And it's like you would notice it. Like you're like,
Do you
oh my
have
God,
to get
I
it
stink.
treated or does it just go away?
You have to get it treated.
Okay, okay.
And it doesn't itch or anything. It's not uncomfortable, but
Yeah.
like you're really uncomfortable because you're like, oh my God, can everyone
You're
smell
like, I
me?
stink.
Yeah. And
Okay.
I went through this period where I was like, I got it once and I was like, oh my God, like, is there something wrong with me? It was when Colin and I like first started dating. So we're just like
Oh.
fucking all the time.
Oh,
And
no.
I'm just
That's
like,
probably why.
is it because we're having too much sex? Yeah. And I
Yeah.
like didn't know. And so I like went to the doctor and they gave me this medicine and then they were like, look, if this happens again, there's this thing you can get at the drugstore. It's called Refresh. And you can just like, it's a suppository that you just put in and then it'll like make it go away.
Okay.
And so I did that every time afterwards. But like I had this thing where it was happening to me like once a month, like chronically. I was
Okay.
getting BV. Like it was like clockwork. I'd get my period and then like
Everyone
a
I
week later.
hear who has BV gets it, like, chronically.
Yeah, well, you know what it was? I did a bunch of research and like I found some, you know, like forum, whatever, like Reddit or something, where people were talking about how having a what's it called? An IUD can like give you chronic infection. So if you get something like that, it can like stick to the string of the IUD and then like you can get it over and
Oh
over
my
again.
God.
So that's why I was getting it again when I got my period because like everything from my
The
uterus
string.
was coming down,
Oh.
like touching the string, and then the bacteria was like coming back.
Oh my God.
And so I had to get a new IUD put in to like stop getting
And then it fixed
BV. And it fixed it. I haven't had it since then.
Oh my God.
That's
Yeah.
fucking crazy. And then I don't know. What do you know about yeast infections?
I mean, just that they itch. That's
They
like pretty
itch,
much
but
all
they
I know.
also give you like a cottage cheese discharge
Yeah.
that's thick and nasty, but it
Yeah.
doesn't stink.
No.
So I think those are like the two main
Yeah.
like differences
Yeah.
of BV, and I'm sure there's probably a doctor out there who might listen to this one day and be like, y'all are so fucking stupid. But this is what we know, okay?
Yeah.
This is the knowledge we have, okay?
Yeah.
Our doctors don't tell us shit. They're just like, here's some medicine and hopefully it fucking works.
Yeah, we're just doing this so that like if there's some listener out there who's like, why does my pussy stink? Like maybe now she knows
Yeah.
why.
Yeah. I've never had too much an issue with my vagina stinking, except for, like, I don't know, when I go camping.
I feel like I have when I wear, like, certain pants or if something's too tight and it's, like, I have to go shower and I feel so disgusting. And it's, like, or if, like, my legs are crossed for too long, like, in class and stuff, and you just, like, cross them and you're like, no. Like, home immediately.
I feel like there's so many factors. It's such a delicate balance.
Yes.
You know?
Yeah,
Like,
our
the
vaginas are so complex.
Like, she needs to breathe. Like,
Yeah.
when she's, like, closed off all day, it's, like, not healthy for her. You
I
know?
don't understand. I feel like, and I could be totally wrong, but, like, I feel like men's, like, or, you know, penis owners, their penises are just so chill and non-complex. Like,
Yeah.
I never hear of, like, oh, I get BV all the time, I get yeast infection all the time, I get UTIs all the time. I never hear that from any man, and I've fucked a lot of people.
Well,
I think if
apparently,
they're uncircumcised, there's more issues. That you
yeah,
can
but even my
encounter.
uncircumcised friends, they're like, I have no
but
issues.
UTIs, it's harder for men to get them because they're, like,
Their dick is out, not
well,
in,
it's, like,
right?
the,
Oh,
the
it's longer.
urethra.
It's longer.
It's, like, super long. Yeah.
Ours is so short, so bacteria has less time to travel.
Dude, the first time I got a UTI, I was in high school and I had, like, started having sex with my boyfriend, but I hadn't, like, told my mom yet because obviously she was, like, gonna murder me. And I was at work and I worked at this, like, restaurant and we had sex earlier that day, and that's, like, before I knew, like, have sex, pee, right? It's
or like pee, have sex, pee.
yeah, pee constantly, right?
Yeah.
I didn't know. And so I'm at work and I'm like, I'm having to go to the bathroom constantly. And I'm like, what the fuck is going on? Because I just, like, don't know. And obviously, like, barely a little bit's coming out because that's, like, whatever, because you don't actually have to pee. And then all of a sudden I start peeing blood. And I was like, I'm dying. Like, I'm
This
dying.
is the end.
Like, something's wrong with me. Like, this is horrible. And, like, I just keep running to the bathroom. And I'm like, I was bussing, so everyone's just like, why the fuck does Anna keep, like, running? It was like, there's tables,
God.
there's, like, stuff to
Like,
do,
this
like,
girl's just
pouring
having
water.
diarrhea.
And, like, what's going on with her? And I, like, went home that night, and I, like, call, like, I'm, like, trying to find, like, the nurse hotline, because it's, like, that was when my mom still, like, scheduled my doctor's appointments. Like,
Oh
I
my
don't,
God,
you know,
yeah,
it's,
you, like, don't even know how to
no,
contact her.
I love how you, like, didn't want to tell her.
oh my God, no, like,
Did she find out?
well, so I, like, called finally, and I was, like, talking to the lady, and I'm like, this has been happening. Like, I was so freaked out. She's like, oh, you have, like, a UTI. And I was like, what is that? Like, that's so
Yeah, because it's cancer.
yeah. And she was like, just come in tomorrow. Like, we'll, like, just, like, pee in a cup, and then we'll give you a medicine or, like, whatever. And then finally after that, I told my mom, and I was like, Mom, like, we have to stop at the thing tomorrow, because we were gonna, like, we had, like, plans with family and friends. I was like, oh, I just, like, have to stop by the pharmacy, like, I have to get this thing, like, I have a UTI, blah blah blah. And I was like, yeah, I don't know how I got it. Like, I was just super, you know, like, whatever. And then later she was like, oh yeah, like, my friend had told me about that. Like, basically it was like her friend's kid was, like, getting them, but it, like, younger kid, because, like, you don't have to, like, they don't just come from sex.
You can
Yeah.
get it from the bath. Like, when you have a
Yeah.
little girl, your pediatrician will be like, don't use scented soaps. Like, don't
Oh,
wash their
yeah.
vagina with soap, even on the outside. Like, there's some, like, kids that I know that can't even use, like, bath bombs and, like,
Oh,
stuff like
I
that.
know, every
'cause
time
yeah.
you take a bath, it's a risk.
it is a risk. And
So
it's
she
like,
never found out I was having sex, which was great. And I didn't die, which is also great.
well, who knows if that it was even what it was from? It could be from anything.
No,
could
it was
be
definitely from that. Because then, like, later in life, if I do not, like, I need to have sex and then I need to pee immediately.
Oh,
like,
I
if
pee
I do not,
immediately,
I get a
too.
UTI every
Okay,
time.
my question is, though, how do we live in, like, one of the most progressive states? Well, you guys grew up in Washington, but still.
Washington's
Like,
progressive.
how do we live in, like, progressive states and didn't learn any of this shit in sex ed?
Oh
Like,
my God.
never talked about UTIs.
The only
peeing
thing
after
you see in sex ed are, like, these fucking STDs in the worst possible way.
Yeah.
And it's like, that's not even how STDs are
Yeah.
in real life.
We
Like,
had
they
a-
made it so they just want to terrify you into not having sex.
Yeah, they're like,
That's what I-
STDs are the worst thing that can happen
That's
to
what
you.
I feel like health class was
Yeah.
is
Yes.
scaring you to not have sex.
Yeah.
And showing you these people who have, like, herpes from, like, their eyes down to their toes.
Yes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And,
In
like,
reality, it should be like, actually, everyone has STDs.
Yes. We had a fucking
if you're
abstinence-
fucking, we have STDs.
Yeah, no, we had an abstinence-only speaker in middle school that, like, came and spoke to our
Absence, and
entire-
they made you sign a paper
And we
and you got,
signed a
like, a
paper.
fucking bracelet. Yeah, we
Yeah.
had that at Cascade.
What?
Yep, yeah.
In public school?
Yes.
Dude,
I didn't
that is
sign it.
fucked up.
My
Okay,
mom
I
even
went to
told
an art
me.
school for middle school, so I didn't have that. They wouldn't
Yeah.
have
That's
stood
cool.
for that.
My mom told me not to sign it.
good.
Yeah,
My
good.
mom was like, that's disgusting.
Yeah, that's
My mom was
fucking
she was like,
creepy.
don't have sex ever until you're married.
My mom was not like, my mom was more like, I don't want to know about you having sex, but here's all the tools you need to be safe, which
Yeah.
I
See,
really
That's
like.
nice. At least you had the fucking
Yeah,
tools.
she's
I
like,
don't
don't-
remember if my parents really discussed it with
Yeah.
me. So
My
they
mom
probably
never talked
didn't.
about it. She's like, ew, I don't want to talk about sex with you, but like, here's some fucking condoms.
Yeah.
Well, like late in high school, my mom, like late into senior year, she like asked me, she's like, have you had sex? And I was like, yeah. And then she was like, okay. And we like didn't talk about it again.
Well, what are you
had-
going to do to your almost 18-year-old child?
Yeah.
Like, come on.
And
like,
she like liked that boyfriend at the time, and so I think like she
She's
was
like, oh, it's
like,
fine.
it's
She's like,
like
at
he's,
least
he's a
it's
nice
him.
boy,
Yeah.
you know, like whatever. Whereas my previous boyfriend, I think she would have like actually killed me, like
Yeah.
had we had sex.
We had a Planned Parenthood literally like 4 blocks from my high school. So it was like, it made it so easy. Like,
we
me
had a
and all
close
my
one, too.
friends
Amazing.
got
I've
our
taken
birth
many of
control
my,
there and
yeah,
everything.
I've taken many of my friends to places.
Yeah.
to Planned Parenthood.
Yeah.
Yeah.
'Cause there was like one in Vancouver.
Yeah.
But I'd never gone to one myself, but it was very inviting.
I
That's
love
a good-
Planned
it's a
Parenthood.
good
They're so
place.
nice to you there.
Yeah.
Like
They're the nicest. And like that's how my friend too, her mom was very much like, you don't have sex. Like she got granted for getting B's. So like that's also where she was getting her free birth control.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then I think she was going for some STD symptoms, and that's where like she got diagnosed and like just got all these things that like is so helpful.
yeah.
It's not just abortions, people. But that's like a really cool aspect of it though.
Yeah.
It's a perk.
It's all important and it's
Yeah.
all fucking healthcare.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, one of the things I want to talk about was some experiences I've had with cysts.
Oh, yes.
So, okay, I have had like every type of cyst, it feels like, under the sun that you can have in your like reproductive system at this point. And the first time I got one was like the most terrifying experience because I too have, you know, some flappy flaps down there, and
Floppy
We have
McFlopperson.
wide set vaginas, okay, people? Like,
yeah. And
It just makes for a better user experience.
It does.
creates more, you know, it's
it's more inviting.
I wonder how people don't have wide set vaginas. Because I feel like most people I talk to talk about like
We probably all do, and we've all just been told that that's not what we're supposed to have. It's like
Yeah.
all the other beauty standards.
they're
you
like,
know?
you only need a tiny little slit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, no, bitch, it's a ham sandwich.
Yeah, and that's just how it is,
Yeah.
you know? They're
This is a
all
roast
unique
beef.
flowers.
yes, yes.
But I like, we were having, Colin and I were having sex, and I felt like the feeling was like as if my labia had gotten stuck and gone inside. You know, like,
No.
okay, the motion I'm doing right now is like a U. Like,
Yes,
it's
I know exactly what
that
you mean.
feeling. Yeah,
because
that's
I
what
have
it
so much
felt
skin
like.
there. I can.
And I was
can
like,
see.
oh my God, like, is it really, am I really that flappy? Like, I had to stop, and I was like feeling down there, and I felt this like hard circle and like on my inner labia.
Oh
and,
my
like,
God.
And were you like, this is cancer?
I was like, Colin, like, what, have you cheated on me? Like, what is this, dude? Like, I was so freaked out, and I'm just like touching it and trying to figure out what it is, and then suddenly it bursts.
Oh my God, no.
It's like pus and blood, like a big zit, basically, is what it was. And then like the pain went away, basically, but I had to like let it heal for like a day or two.
Yeah.
But it was just sort of like, okay, whatever, like I guess it's gone now. But I googled it, and it's this type of cyst called a Bartholin cyst, and I've since like seen people post about it in our Facebook group, and it's like very common for people to get these, but I'd never ever heard of it before I had it.
or like heard
and-
friends talking about it either.
Yeah, and I've had like a couple of them now since then, and like they don't always like pop that easily. Like
Yeah.
sometimes you have to go to the doctor and get them drained. I've never had to do that, but like
Interesting.
you can also do like a hot washcloth or something and like hold it there.
Oh.
But like I every time I've had one, I've just fucked with it until it bursts, which is probably
Yeah.
not good. But like
Do they all always burst on the outside?
I don't know. I mean, that's probably why you're not supposed to fuck with it, because it
Yeah.
can burst on the inside.
Yeah.
And then just like fester there.
Yeah.
Because
yeah.
I feel like I haven't had
Dr.
that happen
Taylor
to me.
taking things
Yeah,
in her own
right?
hands.
No, like I haven't had that happen, but I've definitely had times where I feel like there's like it almost feels like there's like a pimple inside there.
Yeah.
But then it has gone away on its
I've
own.
had
might
that
be
too.
what it is.
I've had that too.
Oh.
They've always been very small though.
Yeah.
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 And it is like a zit, but they're pretty small. Like I would feel like a bean.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's like about how big mine was.
Okay.
Like the size
but
of
it
a
like went
chickpea.
away. Like it didn't pop. Like on the outside.
But did it hurt?
Yes.
Yeah.
Did
Yes.
it hurt when you were having sex too?
I don't know. I know it hurt like when I touched it.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm like going through another dimension.
Oh
Like,
my God.
because like I totally forgot about this, but yeah, there's a few times like in high school I'd be like feeling down there. It feels like a little like ball is like in there.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And
I
then,
just
like,
assumed it was like an ingrown hair.
yeah, same.
That's what I thought it was too, but it's in
Yeah.
an area where hair doesn't really grow.
Yeah.
That's true because it's like right there in that skin flap where the hair doesn't grow out of.
Yeah. Wow. So maybe you guys have had these cysts too.
Probably.
Well, I thought they were so small. I was like, oh, it's like probably like a little zit.
Yeah.
Or
Yeah.
like, you know.
Yeah.
But now I'm like,
Interesting.
A little cyst. I mean, I had a cyst in my boob.
Really?
Yeah, it was really fucking painful.
Did you think it was breast cancer?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I would
and
be
my mom
fucking
did
convinced.
too. But then my mom was like, "Does it hurt?" And I was like, "My mom has had like a ton of like biopsies and stuff like that because she's had a bunch of benign lumps." And she's like, "Well, is it painful?" And I was like, yeah. She's like, "Well, that's like usually a good sign if it's painful.
Oh.
It's usually
Got
like
it.
like cancer. Usually the lumps are not painful, or benign, whatever. But no, it was a cyst and it was like right here. So like I was always like brushing on it and they're like, oh, we could like drain it, and I was like, absolutely not, but it did go away.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, that's my only cyst I've had, but it was massive, so I was like scared. I was like, well, I'm dying.
It's weird how your body just like creates cysts. It's just like
When I was pregnant with Ezra, I guess this is like really normal, but when I went for my 20-week scan, he had a big cyst in his brain.
That's fucking
that's
terrifying.
so scary.
But they like told me, they're like, this is actually really, really common around this time, and it usually goes away, but obviously we're going to monitor it. And of course I was shitting my pants, but then when I looked up online, it's extremely common.
Wow.
Okay. And it was fine. It just went away.
It went away by
God.
the next scan. So I was like, okay, cool, great.
Damn.
And the fact that they can like look at that fucking like X-ray or sonogram and be like, that's a cyst. I'm like, that looks like white.
Yeah.
It looks like nothing. Like,
Yeah.
how can you look at that and know? But like, obviously they go to like school for like 10
I
fucking
know.
years.
The sonogram texts are like crazy to me because she would be like going on
magicians.
there and like measuring all the shit and looking at it, and she's just like doing her thing, and I'm like, I literally feel like you're just trolling me. You're just like poking around and doing like fake things on the screen because it looks like nothing. It all just looks like blobs, and I'm like, cool.
Yeah, like blobs and like, oh, let's look at their heart. I'm like, but that's a heart.
Yeah, I know. She's like, this is this. I'm like,
What?
is
like,
it?
how can you
It's like,
tell?
yeah.
Like, are you sure? Or are you just guessing?
Right?
Is it an educated guess?
Yeah. Oh my god.
Sonograms are terrible.
Okay, wait. Speaking of birth, so that's why I want to talk about my vagina. Okay, so
Tell us.
Oh.
yeah, dude. Okay, so obviously the 3 people listening know that I just had my baby 5 months ago. Okay, so I was like obviously very terrified to give birth because of many reasons. And I just didn't want it to hurt. I didn't want my badge to tear.
agony.
I didn't want. Yeah, I didn't know it was gonna happen. Gave birth, and then it's like vagina's hella swollen afterwards. Things are very sore, so it took me a while to even like want to look at it because I was just scared. I was scared to see if it like looked the same or if it was like ever gonna be the same again. But finally, I think it was like maybe week 5 or something, or like week 4, and it's like, okay, I'm just gonna like take a mirror, I'm gonna look, like, let's just see what happens, and like let's see what's going. Yeah, let's like scare myself. So I looked, and like, okay, like your outer lips, that's called the vulva, right?
I think the whole outside is called the vulva.
Okay, but like the outer bigger lips,
Yeah.
whatever. Then you have like the inner like lips. Okay.
Yeah. The ones where you get the cysts.
Yeah, yeah. And I feel like
I feel like they're the soft ones.
Yeah.
yeah.
They stick together.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. And I just have like a big vagina in general, I guess. And like maybe not the whole, but like
I
that's,
guess we're like in the big
there's,
vagina
like,
club.
There's
Yeah.
lips, you know. There's a lot down there. And
Miss
so,
Miss podcast title right there. Big Vagina Club.
oh, I like that. Maybe we can make some next sweatshirts. Can be the big vagina club.
We should.
So it's like those inner lips, like they used to just be a perfect what is this shape? I'm making
A diamond.
A diamond.
A diamond,
Like
like the shape of a vagina, like how they go.
Yeah.
But now it's like one side is like that, and the other side just stops, and it's like gone. I don't know how, because they told me I had some really light tearing during birth, but it was like inside, like not like they did like dissolvable stitches like inside my vagina.
Yeah.
But that was it. But a part of it is missing. So I swear to God, this doctor like cut off my labia. And
I feel like you would feel that. Like that would hurt
Yeah.
so bad if
But,
it just
like,
ripped off.
It's so like
But it's gone.
It's literally not there.
Like
and
you have your other lip that's chilling there, flapping and like living its best life.
Yeah.
And then the other one's just.
it's half of it,
Well,
and
have
then
you
it's
discussed
gone.
this? Have you asked them what happened to my
I would
labia?
literally
Yeah.
call and be
So-
like, "What?"
So 2 weeks later,
What?
when I had I think it was so this must have been 2 weeks after birth when I first saw this or whatever. But like I had that checkup, and it was virtual, like with the doctor. But then I went to my pelvic floor therapist or whatever, and in that first appointment, we were like talking about stuff, and I mentioned it to her, and she's like, "Oh yeah, that is weird," and I was like, it's not just me.
She saw it? Did she look at it?
She looked at it. I've had Gavin look at it.
I'm not gonna lie,
I've
one day I
looked at
want
it.
to see it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I want to know what you're talking about.
I mean, I'm like,
one day maybe one day when you're modeling.
Yeah,
and you're in your chonies. You
but
can
yeah, I
show
mean,
us.
I think next month I have my like 6-month appointment with my doctor, and I'm gonna have her fucking look at it and be like, why?
You should be like, I'm not gonna take my pants off until you tell me what happened.
Well, it wasn't that doctor. It like because it was a different doctor the day I gave birth. But I want to ask her what happened and how, because I just like don't understand.
Like, how would this stop without like being sliced off?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
And is it like
and
very
did she
like
just do that
straight? Like, is it rigid? Like,
it
so it looks like they got cut.
Straight little like where it goes away.
Does it look like there's scar tissue on it?
I should look closer to see if it looks like there's scar
get a
tissue.
mirror.
You should touch it right there where it ends to see if it feels like harder right there.
I should. Okay, I'm gonna do that. Because it's just gone. And I'm like, how? And like, if they decided to remove it, like, you didn't ask me first? Like,
yeah. Like, why would there be, why would you remove that? It has nothing to do, like, I know, like, episiotomies and stuff like that. When you need to, like, there's an emergency situation, they need to cut to your butthole to get the baby out. Like, okay, but, like, why would you need to cut off?
Excuse me, I need you to, they need to cut through your butthole to get the baby out?
Like, you know your gooch? Like, the area between your vagina and your butt? Sometimes doctors have to cut that.
It's really,
typically most doctors, especially in Portland, don't.
Okay,
and midwives typically don't. But I have heard from my midwife in an emergency where a baby is stuck and they need to get it out as fast as possible, they will.
Okay. But it's like typically a thing that happens more in like Texas type of places.
Yes.
Yeah. But it's like really bad healing, obviously.
Yeah, because like but
really
what studies have shown that if you tear naturally, it grows back better. Because when they cut you, like so evenly like that, when you give birth, you tear more. Yeah. So you might have like a 4th degree tear, and that's like when you tear your butthole.
I'm literally like clenching my vagina right now because
I have chills.
Yeah.
I know, it's like, and then they let you like, when you tear like that, they let you leave the hospital like 2 days later.
No, they do not.
Yeah.
And then you're just expected to go breastfeed and like take care of your little baby.
With this tear and like shit.
And you
on your own.
Yeah, and it probably goes through the like whole like
yeah.
How do you not get an infection? Like, I mean, you would get BV from that.
No, you have to. My sister's my really good friend's sister had really, really bad tearing. I don't know if they did that to her, but she had some horrific tearing. And like literally
sometimes you just tear on your own like that.
No, but she couldn't sit for like she was like, would have to lay on her side for the first like
sometimes they like send you home with those like, you know those BBL pillows that people have to like sit on? Yeah. 6 months after the BBL is like, yeah, you go home and like you just like cannot fuck with life anymore. Wow. I'm so happy bad. Like even with Ezra, he got stuck. And they talked about fucking doing that. But no, I didn't actually tear anywhere on my outer hole. Yeah. Just like I had a couple stitches on the inside.
Okay. I think that's where my stitches were.
Yeah, and they were very vocal about that. They're like, yeah, we're stitching you up. It's on the inside. Like, please make sure you refrain from sex for the full 6 weeks until these like go away. Yeah. And even, like, when we had sex, I waited, like, I think I waited, like, 5 weeks, and it fucking hurt. And I was like, we need to try again in a couple more weeks.
We could not go in all the way. We had to play just the tip the very first time.
It's like, it's giving high school.
Yeah. Yeah. I was like, this is as far as we can go. Please stop now. Like,
and it's so funny, like, I don't know if you had this experience too. Oscar, my husband, Oscar, he was, like, very, like, oh my God, okay.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
Like, so tender, like, so, like, okay, we'll try again next time. Yeah. Like, so sorry.
Yeah. So and a lot of lube. Because it's
it's a new territory after that.
I was so fucking scared. It was terrifying.
I feel like after giving birth, I would be so afraid to take a shit. Like if you have stitches, because you have to push, and like what if it pops?
Honestly, you would just have to wait until your body takes over. Like, you know, when you run into the bathroom and your ass just it goes without having to push, you'd have to wait till then. Yeah. And that's the one thing is, like, I tell everybody, always take the stool softeners that they give you there and continue them, and maybe even some Miralax, because my best labor and easiest labor was Esme, and I actually was so great. I had no pain afterwards, and every other birth I felt like I was like beaten, like I got like a gang came up and just beat me with a fucking bat. Like, that's what it felt like after giving birth, just my whole body dead. But after Esme, I didn't feel that way. And so I'm like, oh, I'm like up, I'm like doing great. I leave the hospital after 24 hours, but who doesn't take her stool softeners? So then I start, like, not being able to sit and having, like, horrible pain. My vagina swelling. And I get there, and she's like, I just want to check.
No, not the swollen vagina again.
Everything's swelling. It's painful. I'm not well. But I was, like, still, like, pooping here and there. So I, like, wasn't, like, thinking that was the issue. So I go in, 'cause she's like, I just want to make sure you don't have a hematoma, which is, like, a pocket of blood that could be, like, causing an issue in there. God. So she, like, you know, puts her fucking hand inside of my vagina and was, like, feeling around. She goes, oh, no, like, you're full of shit. And it's, like, pushing onto your vagina. So I had to like take a bunch of laxatives.
And then it fixed it. It was fine.
Yeah.
Oh my
I just shit a fuck ton, and then I was
Damn.
like back to normal.
Wow.
What's interesting is that I, like, well, you two know, like, I poop, like, maybe once every 3 days. Like, normally that's just my normal
That's
cycle.
so crazy.
For, I don't know, it's my body. But after birth, like, it was, like, the next day, and I was, like, terrified. Like, right, yeah, I was, like, I don't want to poop. I'm so scared, like, blah, 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 blah. But all of a sudden, I was, like, I had to poop, and I was, like, I need to poop immediately. Like, it was, like, an emergency. Like, it was a Sierra. I pulled a Sierra. I was, like, I have to go right now. But I, like, went, and it was, like, so soft, and it was so fast, and I felt nothing. And I was, like, thank fucking God.
Yeah, you want to like
I
have
was
that kind
terrified.
of experience. I think with Ezra was really bad because like I was constipated for a week before I gave birth, and then like I just shit on a commode next to the bed because I was like in so much pain I couldn't even walk to the bathroom. So I had to like sit there and like shit in this commode while Oscar's like rubbing my shoulders like, oh, I'm so he's like literally like, I'm so sorry. Like this is a horrible
What a
experience.
good husband.
Yeah.
Yeah, well I'm shitting there. I'm like, this is so fucked up.
I don't think I could ever shit in the same room as Gavin.
I had to
would,
though. I couldn't.
I would have sent him out of the room. I could not. I would
didn't.
never.
But I was also like, I had preeclampsia and I was on magnesium, which really fucks you up. I don't really remember it. Very in and out, like lots of puking, lots of like the drug it's a fucked up drug that they have to give you to make your blood pressure normal so you don't die and have seizures and strokes.
Oh my God. Being a woman is so traumatizing.
It is.
Yeah,
So like
it is.
at that point of how horrible and traumatizing that labor was, I took that shit in that commode. Right.
Yeah,
in
at
front
that
of him.
point, it's like I'm literally I'm fighting for my life here.
I was
like,
fighting for
I'm
my
gonna shit in
life.
front of you,
I
don't
had
care.
hemorrhage. I lost so much blood. Like, not only could I not walk to the bathroom because it hurt too bad, I was too dizzy and seeing stars to walk to the bathroom.
Oh my God.
And I would prefer him there, like, helping me than the nurse. I was like, I don't want to shit in front of you. Shit in front of my husband after I shit out this whole baby.
Oh my God. I would so much rather shit in front of a nurse than shit in front of Gavin.
But I will
seen
say,
it all.
it smelled so bad.
Yeah.
And I was like, just like apologizing because I didn't shit in a week. I'm like, I'm so sorry. He's like, no, I just like love you so much. Like, I'm so sad for you. Like, he was like definitely pitying
What a
me.
supportive king.
Yeah, he's so nice.
I think after that, he was like, I've seen some shit.
Yeah.
That was the worst labor and birth experience of my
God.
life.
Oh my God.
And then I went and did it again, like, almost immediately. Got pregnant 9 months later.
Oh my God.
It was just, Ezra was a cute baby, so.
Just
I was like,
ready
it can't,
for more.
I was literally like, it can't be that bad again, right?
Should we talk about the underwear since you just sent me that email?
Yeah. Okay. So there is this girl on TikTok who I'm gonna find her so that we can like shout her out for our 3 listeners.
Yeah. Also, we obviously don't have sponsors because this is epised 1. But like, if we were to ever get sponsors, this would be like my dream brand to sponsor.
Yeah.
us.
I'd be
Yeah.
like, you can pay us $1 a month.
Yeah. Or just give us the merch.
Just
and
give me
we'll-
some underwear,
Yeah,
girl.
we will shout you out.
we
We're
would like
obsessed.
to use your underwear and pop our pussies in these underwear.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That can contain our fat, beautiful vaginas.
Exactly.
Blue. The brand is Shop Cherry. And it's CHERRI. They have really cute branding. Where does it tell me the founder's Instagram? Because that's how I found them. Gabby Gabs. So GABYGABSS. That's Gabby is the one who put me onto this underwear. She designed it for those of us with wide set vaginas, and it's like basically like what the video of hers that I found was she was saying that like most underwear is designed with like however many inches for the gusset, which is like the part that contains the flaps, and it's like what it's designed for is like more narrow than like the average width of
It's
a
so
woman's
narrow.
vagina.
Do you know, like, do you know how many times I have to pick a side?
Yeah,
I have to pick a fucking side of my labia, and then it's just like rubbing in there
Yeah.
and chafing in there.
it's horrible.
And that's
It's
like the
awful.
same thing with thongs. I wish there was like a wider set thong for me.
Yes.
Because like I exclusively wear Knix, as I've told you guys, but like the thong
Yeah.
yeah.
straight
And
up
like
my puss.
I feel like with thongs, like it has to be like a really specific type of material because if it's too soft, it'll all just
Pile
ball
in.
together and get
Yes.
sucked in, and then it's literally flossing you.
Yes.
And like
Yes.
it
And
has
you're like,
to
wow,
be able
like
to
this
like
is touching
hold
my
on.
vagina, my butthole, my vagina, my butthole. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And you're like,
Yeah.
I'm gonna get sick.
Yeah, that's like this. I'm gonna get an infection.
Well,
Like I'm gonna get sepsis.
So I don't wear thongs that often. With how much how much I shit, fart, and sweat, I'm like, it needs to stand the test.
Yeah,
of
it
time.
wouldn't be hygienic. I will say, okay, I wear the what's it called, the hanky panky underwear, And I feel like it's wide enough to hold me in most of the time. But sometimes if I like am like walking all day for a long time, by the end of the day, I'm like, there are parts of me where I feel like it's like rubbing me a little raw, you know?
Yeah.
But like on a normal average day, like I feel like it kind of keeps everything contained. But I'm really excited about these cherry underwear because I feel like, you know, it's gonna be a whole new world for me.
It's going to be a new experience.
Yeah.
I can't wait.
I used to wear such lacy stuff like Victoria's Secret always. And like those underwear just, they never work.
No.
I always end up like throwing them away after a couple of months. And it was just a horrible experience. And also the worst underwear I've ever experienced is fucking Target underwear.
Did you guys watch the Victoria's Secret documentary,
Yes.
by the way?
I want to see
Oh
it.
my god, dude, you need to watch it.
It's crazy.
like,
Come on,
it's
give me
so
some
crazy.
highlights about what are the
Okay,
craziest
so-
parts.
The founder of Victoria's Secret is this like old man in Ohio who like he
lives in Ohio.
he got his wealth by like creating all these brands that like copied other brands, where they would like go to Europe, go to the fashion shows and be like, okay, we're going to copy that design, but we're going to like
Such white man energy.
Yes, exactly.
Like
And,
colonizers. They literally just fucking take people's shit, use it for themselves, and then bankrupt everyone else.
literally.
Yeah.
Period. And they also were like one of the first brands to start doing manufacturing overseas. Not overseas, but like fast fashion style manufacturing. I can't remember. Like they described it so much better in the documentary. I'm always so bad at like paraphrasing these things, but it was like, so he like started this like fast fashion manufacturing trend, which obviously is destroying the planet, as we know. So like, you know, that's one strike. He's a white man from Ohio. Strike two. He's like a culture vulture stealing from like French designers. And he was like BFFs with Epstein. And like Epstein like lived on his estate, and there's all these like weird connections between the two of them.
So sketch.
That's
It's like
so
so
barf.
fucking creepy.
Yeah.
So like
So pedophile.
yeah, the money from Victoria's Secret, like all this money that he was making, a lot of it was like going to Epstein. And
What also makes me like remember too, like that underwear only fit me in middle school.
yeah.
Oh yeah.
Weird, right?
I like worked there in college, and I was like, when I got that job, I was like, wow, I've made it. Like this is
Yeah,
my dream
I am the
job.
baddest bitch.
Yeah, I work at Victoria's Secret. Like I was so fucking excited, and like, it's gross. It's
Yeah,
so gross.
It's
they
so gross.
showed this one, like clips from this one fashion show that I'd forgotten about, but then when they showed it, I was like, oh, I remember this, because it was like the Victoria's Secret fashion show where Justin Bieber performed. And on Beyond the Blinds, shout out to one of our
actually
favorite
never seen
podcasts.
Oh, the best podcast ever. You guys just I can't even explain to you Beyond the Blinds, but just start with episode 1. It
And
is
keep
the
going.
only thing I have ever paid on Patreon for, and that is my favorite $5 a month I spend on anything.
I will pay for Beyond the Blinds on Patreon until I die.
Yeah, and Troy and Kelly, please come to Portland ASAP.
We're obsessed with you.
Yeah.
I've actually never seen one of their like runway shows.
Good. I mean,
Yeah,
it
I
would
lived
just
in-
make you feel like shit.
Okay,
Like, my
but
mom-
but continue.
Yeah.
So with Justin Bieber.
Okay, so Justin Bieber, on Beyond the Blinds, they said at this show, he like fucked like 20 of the models backstage.
Oh, yeah,
like
I
his
remember
whole
that.
goal at the
Who?
show was to
Justin
Justin Bieber.
Bieber.
And he literally looks like he's 14 in this
Yeah.
video. Like this was when he was like really in his like little boy vibes days, you know? But anyway, it was the show that he did. All of the fashion from that show, it was all like modeled after like children's stuff. So there's literally a costume where one of the girls has a trach attached to her like lingerie.
I remember that. Yeah.
Yes. And then there's like a little schoolgirl outfit, and there's like all these little things that are all like children's outfits turned into lingerie. And it's like, at the time we were like, oh, fashion, I guess. Like now it's like, it's so fucking creepy. It's like, this is literally like
It's creepy.
like a fashion show for pedophiles.
Yeah.
It's,
Which is so sick.
yeah, it's really scary. There's also a really good song called Victoria's Secret that found on TikTok that is like, it's kind of a banger.
Really?
Yeah, it's
Okay.
like,
Who sings it?
I'll find it. I'll
Give
tell
him
you
a
guys.
shout out. Is it about all this stuff?
Yeah.
Okay. Fascinating.
She
Well,
did
we've
like a
come so
flash
far.
mob. Jax, Jax. That's
Okay.
who sings it.
I mean, that used to be like the only place to buy underwear, really.
Yeah.
So it's like so great that now there's all these other places. I mean, I buy most of my underwear from Everlane now. I just get like the basic cotton thongs, but like I'm so excited to try this new brand because I need space for my badge.
I know. We have come so far.
Yeah.
I feel like Gen Z is going to have a totally different experience with underwear, their vaginas, all this stuff, like, because they have TikTok,
They have TikTok.
to, like, when you get a cyst,
look at the way
TikTok
they do their
is gonna-
makeup.
Yeah.
Like, look at
Oh,
the way
God.
they do anything. God.
They do everything better
When
than
I look
us.
back, when I was like in the 6th grade, I would wear like fucking visors that would make me break out. And then I would wear white eyeliner, put on fucking glitter.
And,
I
like,
was-
no mascara, no eyebrows.
No,
You
no.
know, like,
My eyebrow was like one hair. Like, they were so thin, and
And
I thought it was so fucking
I would
hot.
douse
Yeah.
myself with Victoria's Secret Love Spell.
Yes.
Oh,
every day
yeah,
before
love
And we
school.
spell.
really thought we were doing something.
Oh, yeah.
I the chokehold love spell still has on me.
Oh
like
my
when
God.
sometimes I go in there just to smell it.
Really?
I'm not gonna buy it because I'm not gonna. That brain can suck my
Yeah.
asshole.
Yeah.
But like, the smell is so good.
Fun.
Yeah.
Wait, should we talk about our weekly obsessions?
Oh, yeah. Let's do weekly obsession.
Okay. Who wants to go first?
Sierra, talk about your vid, please.
Okay. So it's fucking crazy because this video has been seen like 35 million times, and of course Anna and Taylor have not seen it yet. But I will paint a picture for you. It is a video of this guy. I don't know his name. I'm sure I should probably figure it out. But he's out kayaking with his friend Sarah. And it zooms in on him. He is in the water. He is on his kayak. It is sinking. And he's just like, Sarah, please help me, Sarah. And like every time I watch it, I'm like, that's me. That is me in life. Anytime, like I feel like I just attract bullshit. And then it's like, and then there's Anna, who I'm like, I have a hemorrhoid, like, cause I got this hemorrhoid at the fucking Portrait Masters. I had this migraine, and it's very much like, save me, Anna. And she's like, I can't help you. Like you're just gonna have to like help yourself, like wipe your butthole a little less, like don't strain so hard, like you got yourself into this, like. But like the more and more I think of all these situations in life, like the more it's just me. So I'm like obsessed with watching this video. I keep referencing every time there's like an issue. I look at like this whole trip and I'll be like, Anna, Sarah saved me.
I mean, the funniest part to me about the video is that he's sinking in this kayak, but it looks like it's like the water is maybe 4 feet deep. It's like you see land, there's lily pads everywhere. Like it's not like he's like on rapids or anything like even remotely terrifying. It's just like a very, very
It's like they're fucking in a
just
pond.
metaphor.
Yeah.
It's a metaphor for me. Like I'm like I'm sinking, but I could just stand up.
yeah.
It's like I love it though because I feel like the video is making you feel seen. You know, that's like why
It's important.
It's important.
I'm like, wow, I really resonate with this.
Yeah.
Sorry, Anna.
I love it. Okay, Taylor, what do you want to talk about?
You guys look at this little mushroom bead. Isn't that cute?
That's so cute, little smiley face. We're
That's
obsessed
adorable.
with that.
You should shout her out. We love her.
Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna shout out Camp Kramer this week as my obsession because Megan from Camp Kramer is someone who I've been friends with for like 12 years. And she and I go way back. She is my #1 makeup artist queen. She did my makeup for my wedding. She used to work at Blush Beauty Bar and like she would practice on like makeup on me all the time. And then she became a brow artist and now she just has her own brow studio and she's kind of retired from doing makeup, but every once in a while she'll make an exception for me. But in addition to being this like amazing brow gal, makeup artist extraordinaire, she also has a jewelry business called Camp Kramer, and she makes the cutest little like funky, campy beaded things. And I'm wearing one of the bracelets right now, and I just can't stop looking at this little mushroom bead on my bracelet because it's so cute. So everyone should go buy some jewelry from Camp Kramer because their stuff is so fun, and it's also like I feel like a lot of these like what are these called? Like not charm bracelets, but like the bracelets and necklaces with like the little beads all over them. A lot of them are cheap online, and like their stuff is like they use like vintage beads and glass beads, and everything is like much more high quality.
And it
I feel
reminds
like.
me of the stuff I used to make when I was little. Like,
Yeah.
it was so
Yeah.
fun.
But like an elevated version of it.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, and I also just shout out to Zoloft because that's my new antidepressant that I'm taking. I'm really excited about it because my old one, Wellbutrin, was making me really irritable, and I have been taking Zoloft for like a couple of days now, and I feel like I already feel a difference. So
That's awesome.
A big deal for me.
No, that's really good news that it's working so quickly.
Yeah, and I'm going to be able to, I don't know if I told you guys this, but one of the reasons I switched is because Wellbutrin apparently causes birth defects.
Yes.
So, Zoloft is like okay to take when you're like, when you have babies, and that's, you know, probably in my near future, so that's important.
I love that.
Yeah. So that's mine.
We love Zoloft.
We love Zoloft.
Zoloft can sponsor us too if they
Yes.
Makes me want to
Big
try
Pharma.
Zoloft.
Yeah, big pharma. Oh my god.
Sometimes Big Pharma pops off, bitch.
When I told my therapist I was switching, she was like, Zoloft is my favorite antidepressant.
Wow, perfect.
Yeah, she was like, it's, it's like the number one that I recommend. Like, I feel like it has the least like side effects. It's
Is
like,
it a serotonin booster? Like, what does
yeah,
it do?
it's an SSRI.
That's what I'm scared of. SSRIs. Like, that's how I got that like migraine for like
Oh,
2
really?
weeks. Yeah,
Yeah,
that
you
was
stay
an
away.
SSRI.
Oh, yeah.
Anything that fucks
Rough.
with serotonin can like really fuck with my migraines, but I also
Oh.
really would like to take Zoloft.
Wellbutrin isn't an SSRI, so you could try Wellbutrin. But
if I'm already anxious, I am already irritable.
yeah,
But
actually, you shouldn't take it
yeah.
because it does increase anxiety for
I'm
a
a
lot of people.
fucking asshole.
It's kind of crazy though, because I feel like a lot of these things, like the side effects, can vary so much on the person. You know,
That's
so
what
like,
sucks.
yeah.
Like you never know
Yeah.
until you try
You have
it,
to
and
try
it's like
it.
I just
yeah.
Yeah. I have friends who have been on antidepressants where they like can't have an orgasm, and like I've never had that problem.
I
ever.
feel like that would
I've been
make
on
you so
lots of
much more
different ones.
depressed.
I know,
Like-
but like I know that that's like a thing for some people. Is like your
Oh
sex
my
drive or like whether you can have an orgasm. And
Okay,
so there's,
that's
like,
even
all
more
kinds
scary.
of
My sex drive
things.
already sucks asshole, so it's like if I was no.
Yeah,
That
it's
would be
just so.
terrifying.
It's like you really have to experiment, which is hard because I feel like you have to just take a leap of
Yeah.
faith every time. You know.
If I was depressed and then I could also never have orgasms, I would just be like, wow, okay. Like,
What's the point?
It's
Like
not,
this is a
like-
fucking bullshit trade-off.
like,
Yeah.
that would make you even more depressed. Like,
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's not.
Mm.
It's not worth it.
It's
Okay.
not the vibe.
Wow. Okay, well, my obsession is my Kirkland signature hoodie that I'm wearing right now.
How do we go
So-
from Zoloft to Kirkland signature hoodie?
So actually, like, shout out to Taylor because last year you were the first one to get the Kirkland signature hoodie, and then I saw you wearing it, and I was immediately like so
Enthralled.
obsessed with your hoodie. So I went to 2 Costco's and they didn't have it, and then I finally found it online, so I bought one for myself. And then the next week when it came, I posted a story about it, and a lot of people were actually very into my Kirkland signature hoodie. And at that point, it had already sold out. So
Yeah, they were like here and gone so
Yeah.
fast.
I know I don't fucking have one.
They're very
So
exclusive. I'm
it's on my
obsessed with
Christmas
it.
list. I'm gonna add to my Christmas list this
Yeah.
year.
You have to
So
get
if
one from
they-
Poshmark.
Yeah.
Well, maybe they might bring it back. You never know.
Fingers
Yeah.
crossed, because I need to buy another one, like a backup one, just to always have my Kirkland signature.
I
hoodie.
love that
know.
you keep like backups of all your favorite. Anna
Yeah.
keeps like 3 pairs of Air Force Ones in her closet.
I know. Oscar, when I was talking to Oscar, he was like, yeah, I was pretty sure she had fucking 10.
Yeah.
He's
It's
like, 'cause
one
they
to
always
rock,
look nice
one to
and new.
stock. So you gotta just, every time yours gets too dirty, you pull out the fresh one, and you always have the fresh one, because you never know when that one's gonna, like
Like when
something's
you
gonna
need
I
it.
happen.
know.
Yeah.
I need
Yeah.
to get a fresh pair because I made the mistake of wearing mine camping and
Oh,
now
yeah.
they're just
Oh,
like
no.
destroyed.
I actually think right now I have 4 pairs in rotation, where like the dirtiest one is like the camping pair, and then
Yeah.
it like goes up from there. But right now,
Yeah.
I have 2 that are like the same level dirty, and they're like, I need to try to see if I can get one of them cleaned enough to be like my fresh pair, but otherwise I gotta pull out the next one from the closet because it's
Oh no,
time.
Gosha's at the door.
Gosha.
Gosha's like, I hear they're having
Yeah.
Yeah.
fun in there.
Gosha's like, you're done. Podcast
Yeah.
over.
I need to lick your face.
Gosha's my cat. I know our 3 listeners already know that, but just in case there's a 4th out there.
Go to
king.
Taylor's Instagram and look at Gosha. He's so beautiful.
He's an angel baby sent
Yeah.
from the high heavens. He is our Lord. He is our Savior. He is our King.
He's so beautiful.
Okay. Where can people find us if they
Yes.
want to know more?
Know more if you want to connect with us, chat with us.
Yeah. So at Naked
Book
Peach
with
Boudoir
us.
on Instagram, at Naked Peach Boudoir on TikTok, our Facebook group, Naked Peach Boudoir, but also we have the VIP group, which is where it really pops off.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have like 5,000 people in there.
Yeah.
And it is a place to be.
Yeah.
If you ever want to like post something anonymously, that is like I feel like recently we get so many anonymous posts and then people get like the answer they need.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the place to go for advice for sure.
Yeah.
And our website, nakedpeachboudoir.com, has
Yeah.
the links to the VIP group, all the socials, and then our personals.
Yeah. You
Yeah.
can find me at T Smells with a Z on TikTok and Instagram.
You can find me at Sierra PDX. It's CIARRA PDX.
Love. And then I literally just changed my handle yesterday.
I saw
I was
that.
feeling inspired. So my new one is at Anna McLaughlin Photo. I decided to become a
Wow.
photographer, you know, so
Yeah.
we'll see you guys next week.
See you guys next week.
Okay,
Thanks for
bye.
listening.
Bye.
Okay. 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 Okay.